Hello fans, collectors, and troopers. This is G-Man with G-Man's Toy Review. Today I got something a little special this time. Actually a flashback in time. I'm going to talk about all these little palm models, they call them. Palm, like your hand, palm of your hand. They're mini models of what we called Star Blazers, but in Japan it was called Space Battleship Yamato. And it was a great series. I was in junior high or middle school, as you would call it, when this came out. It was broadcast on a network on cable, because we were lucky enough to have cable when I was growing up. And it was done by Ted Turner, WTCG. That's WTCG, okay? Which stand for, Turner, his name, right? And he changed it. A little channel was in Atlanta. It was WJRJ in Atlanta. He changed it to the call signs, WTCJ, because what it meant was watch this channel grow. He's also on the Braves, so he was a big sports fan on top of that, okay? He was an entrepreneur. He did a lot of stuff in network. He even made CNN News, actually CNN, if it makes any sense to you, or TNT. Anyway, you like it, they did old classic movies and all kinds of stuff, okay? But we'll get right back to the original thing I was saying, Star Blazer. Star Blazer Spaceship Yamato from Japan is an American animated television series, adaptation of Japanese anime series, which I already told you, Spaceship Battleship Yamato. It came out in 1974, was the first one. The second series was 78, and the third series came out in 1980. I believe it started in United States in 1979. It was first aired September 17th, 1979 on Turner Broadcasting, or that original channel I told you about, WTCG, okay? All right, here's a little, information about it, okay? All right, the Star Blazer was the first broadcast in the United States in 1979. It was the first popular English translated anime that had overreaching and important storyline that required every episode, notice what I said, every episode to be viewed in order to understand the full story, which paved the way for future more plot drama anime transitions like Robotech, Gundam. You get the idea, right? Also, it dealt somewhat with mature themes, teaching or letting young people realize what adults go through and what they may be saying or doing, but it always gave you that don't give up, there's always hope, and you have to go for your dreams, okay? The consistent of Star Blazers, which that was the American version of it, had 3 television seasons. Each is an English language adaptation from the Japanese original counterpart, Space Battleship Yamato. However, the Japanese saga entails more than just these 3 series. There's movies, and if you look at the side of the like and subscribe sign, yes, I hope you will like and subscribe to this channel so you'll see more of this great content. We'll try to get it over there for you. We'll try to get it there so you can see what I'm talking about. These are the original first movies that came out right there. And I know you can't really read them really well, but they're right there. I got them as blown up as I can. These are the first 5 original movies that came out that brought the series to the U.S., okay? Because it was a big thing in Japan. It blew records. The movie, the first one, Space Battleship Yamato, blew anime out of the sky back then because it was a big sensation and it was really good. Now, what they did recently, a few years back, they remastered it. That was Funimation. That's who redone it all again. And they remastered it and made it more good. Sort of like when they did Star Trek, they remastered it, to Blu-ray and everything. And the last one on the very end of the right side, okay, your left, my right, is the Space Battleship Yamato. And you notice it's different, okay? It doesn't say Starblazer. That is the first adaptation in 2011 or 2012. This movie came out. It had real actors in it. And it's an excellent movie. And I suggest anybody to go find that. Again, this is the remaster series, $21.99 and $22.02. If you're going to watch it, this is a good start, but you have to get the original series. And to be honest, I'm waiting on my original series because I've been waiting for years to get the right ones from Voyager Entertainment. And I just finally found one that I could afford, and I got it on eBay. So they're on their way. They'll be here around April 3rd. I'll be so glad because it's going to bring back so many childhood memories watching the original versus the remaster one, okay? So let's beam back out of that. And here's all these little mini models, or palm models they call them. Each one cost about 100 yen, up roughly $1, about 98 cents, 99 cents, something like that, back in the 70s, late 70s, early 80s. And what's really cool about this, each one has their own art. We'll go down here and take a look here. There's 30 of these things, and that right there is the Yamato. That's the first one in I guess the mini thing. They call it their Mechanica collection. Okay, that's Mechanica collection is what they call it. Okay, but these are the original models that came out, and there are some people still on eBay selling these, but be careful who you go through and how much they are, because some of these people want way too much for these. Remember, they were less than $1 when they originally came out, okay? Back in 1979, 1980, around that area, 78. But the models did come earlier from 1974, 75, and 76. So to get the whole series, it made it easier if you were on a cheap back then allowance from your mom and dad, and you can afford one of these at the end of the month, if you got a quarter allowance each week if you're lucky, or you did like I did, yard cuts and stuff. I cut yards, and I did other things for neighbors around the neighborhood so I could make money so I could buy these models back then. Okay, now this is the whole collection. Let's beam out. This is all of them. You can see the numbers are on them. I'm just going to go around and let you see the numbers here. I apologize for any jerkiness there. Each one is a certain model. I think most of the people who know about Star Blazers do recognize these models. And this is so cool because you just don't see these anymore. And when you do find them, they're kind of a rare gem. And I like these. And they still make little models to this day. And they're made by, guess who? Bandai. The same ones that do, you're going to love this, the Godzillas, okay, with Tashami Nation. It's the same mother company, Bandai, okay? Again, you can find them on Estes. You can find them sometimes on Amazon, but most of the time you can find these on eBay. That's where you should try to find them. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get one out of a box. We'll do let's say we'll do the Yamato. How about that? Y'all want to do the Yamato? We'll do the Yamato. And I know it's not easy to do these. I know it ain't. So we're going to do the Yamato, okay? And what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the box right here, and I'm going to bring it up close and let you see it. This is the art. Look at the color. And if you look really hard, they only use 3 different colors on all their box art. And a lot of people see the blacks, but really the black sometimes can be a dark blue. So it's kind of tricky to see how they did it. If you look at the space here, that's really a darkish blue. That's not really black. And even though you see the number in red, when you put blue over red, it's going to turn black, and it's still blue though. So they only use 3 colors when back then 4 colors was usually the going rate. They also made the box out of, believe it or not, recycled cardboard. So when I open up, you're going to see. Take a look at this. Take a look at that. This is the recycled cardboard, okay? That's all that is. And then to save more money for the individuals to afford these, they put the instructions, check this out, on the inside of the box. It's just amazing what they did here. Let me turn this around. I got to turn this around so y'all can see this. Take a look at that. That is truly amazing right there. That is all the instructions how to put these things together. And they're by numbers. If you remember back Back in the 70s, they had, you know, you could paint by numbers. Well, this is the same way. You build by numbers, and you can't mess up. We got translators on our phone now, so you just translate English, you know, with Japanese or Japanese to English, and you'll find out what each one means. And also, it gives you all the information here on the codes. I'm not sure what all that says, but if y'all want to take a look at it and translate, that's up to y'all. And on the other side, it gives you some information about the model. And if you look right there in that corner, there's Bandai, like I said, okay? Each one has a seal of approval from the original director and the producer of this series. And that's the little gold symbol right there, if y'all see it, okay? All right, now that's the top of the color of the box, okay? We'll put this right here, just put it right here to make it look really nice, okay? And then this is the model. Again, the boxes are in recycle. Let me see if I can get this out. And yes, you get glue with this. I don't know if the glue's any good by now, but I wouldn't use it, but they did give you glue if you're curious about it. And here's the, like I said, the recycle box to save more money, okay? They were trying to save money so people could afford these back then. Here's the model. It's in gray, and yes, you would have to paint it to make it look like you see on the box, which is, that ain't that hard if you know how to use tape, masking tape, okay? This is the Yamato, and Yamato was also a World War II battleship that the Japanese lost. It was their biggest battleship they ever had. And yes, we took it out. They left Japan. Most of them knew they wasn't going to get back home, and they didn't get too far. And well, the Americans, well, they destroyed that battleship, unfortunately. But that still didn't convince them to surrender. Only the atomic bombs did. And I don't want to get into that because, believe it or not, in this series, the Gamelons are actually bombing Earth with meteorites, or radiation bombs they call them, and it's destroying Earth. And there's a call out from a planet over 400 light years away. I think it's 148,000 light years, I think exactly. It's calling out to us, Iskandar, and I'm not sure of the girl's name, but the lady is calling out, come to me, and I can give you something that can take that radiation out of your planet Earth, and it would go green again, and you'll like it used to be. So they only had 1 year to make this journey to get back to save Earth, that was the reason for all the episodes, because the first series was Quest to Iskandar, okay? And they have 1 year to get there. I guess 6 months to get there and 6 months to get back if they're lucky enough, okay? And they did save Earth. Yes, that's a spoiler. They saved Earth the first time. In fact, they saved Earth in the series at least 3 or 4 times. And you'll see that through the original series and the Reamp series as well, okay? So I'm gonna put this back in the little box, okay? But as you can see, you got good guy ships, you got bad guy ships. They probably don't tell you which are which. I'm not going to go by each name because it would take all day, and I know you guys get bored with that. But I am going to let you know this, okay? 1, good guy. This is a good guy. This is a good guy. Spacecraft just looks like a plane, but it's still a good guy. Okay, it looks like almost a jet to me. Good guy, okay? Good guy. Bad guy on the end, okay? Then when you get up here, bad guy, bad guy, bad guy, bad guy, bad guy. Go up to the 3rd level, you got good guy, good guy, good guy. Then you got bad guy, okay? You go back over, bad guy, bad guy, bad guy, good guy at the end, okay? You go back again to almost the last line, but it ain't the last line yet, it's second to the last. It's going to be good guy. Actually, that's the hero's jet himself. That's called Zero, which is kind of cool because remember they had World War II airplanes called Zero. Interesting, huh? Okay, and then you got good guy, bad guy. I'm sure that's probably a good guy there, and I think the next one is a bad guy. Now, back on the back row, it's bad guy, bad guy. I don't know if the middle one's a bad guy or a good guy. Maybe someone can tell me, but I think that's a bad guy. I know the last 2 are bad guys, okay? There's 30 of these things. I'm going to see if I can get a little closer for you and see if I can show it to you as much as I can get a little bit well, we'll see a little closer, and this gives you some idea what they look like. I'll have to loosen this. Just give me a second, okay? Sorry for the shaking. But if you look at the art is really beautiful. The art is just tremendously beautiful on these boxes. Just the boxes alone, to me, is worth the price, okay? Unfortunately now, most of these go for around $9.99. That's $9.99 versus 99 cents they used to be back then. And a whole set's going to set you back probably about, I don't know, $200 if you get to some of these sellers, if you want to get all 30 of them. Because you're going to be paying an arm and a leg for these things, I promise you, unless you can work out a deal with someone who will sell the whole set to you, okay? And there are some sellers on eBay that I know that will do that. They'll sell you the whole set. Usually they're asking $199.99, but some of them will negotiate the price. But don't think they'll come down too far. I'll be honest with you, this one was around $175 just for these. And this was a few years back, and I don't know how much more they're going to go up. I don't know if they're going to let them go up anymore. I apologize for the shaking. Thank you. I'm sorry about that, but we're just going to keep going around. Sorry. I just want to show you all these boxes because they're really beautiful. I mean, the artwork is tremendous. Remember, this is animation art, which makes it even better from Japan. And remember, this was the first animation before they could get a hold of it and chop it up and do, you know, like limitations like what they did with the original Star Trek. You know, they didn't like them saying certain names, or, well, the first African-American kiss was with William Shatner and Nichelle Nichols. Everyone knows that on Star Trek, and they got away with it, and the censors didn't block it or anything. And in the South, yeah, they were pretty mad about that around Alabama, I assume, South Carolina, North Carolina, anywhere in the South, Florida maybe, I don't know, but I know in Georgia they were, and some people just got really mad about it. So that's about all I can say about these models. Each model is beautifully done. They're called mini models or palm models. That's what I call them, palm models. And again, you can find them on eBay, STs, or Amazon, but most of the time it's going to probably be, I hate to say it, it's going to probably be eBay. And you're probably going to pay some good money for these. The Yamato, all the way to the right at this end right here, this one right here, is going to run usually about 15 bucks. I mean, I don't know why this one's more expensive than any of the rest of them, but it is. I guess because it's the lead hero ship in the whole series, okay? In fact, 3 seasons, which is 3 series on that, okay? We appreciate you watching, and this has been G-Man with G-Man Toy Reviews, signing off. Peace! Remember to hit that like and subscribe button today.